Good afternoon and welcome to NPL Men's New South Wales Round 4. It's Sydney United against the Western Sydney Wanderers from the Sydney United Sports Centre. And we hope you are looking forward to today's clash. Two very desperate teams, just the one win between them, and Sydney United looking to open their account at the fourth time of asking this campaign. We are underway. The referee's whistle getting us started. We'll get to teams in just a moment as Sydney United take possession from kickoff here. And having to consolidate among their back line. It is over 30 degrees at kickoff in the western suburbs of Sydney today, so expect a bit of ebb and flow to today's contest. It was a very entertaining 1-1 draw in the under-20s that finished just before us. They had to play in the heat of the day, a 5 p.m. local kickoff for those of you watching interstate or overseas. As a run down the right side presents an early chance here for the home side. And the referee has seen a handball, but against Alessandro Lacalandra of Sydney United 58. Let's take a look at their team. Josip Orlovic, their goalkeeper. Adrian Vlastelica, number 4. 10, Carlos de Oliveira. 11, Matthew Hatch. 13, Alessandro Lacalandra. 14, Liam McGing. 15, Tariq Meyer. 16, Anthony Krilich. 17, Michael Glassick. 22, Stefan de Robillard. And 23, Mason Wells, making up the starters today, coached by Ante Juric. For Western Sydney Wanderers, their goalkeeper is Tristan Vidakovic. 2, Nathan Barry. 4, Ricky Franson. 8, Nicholas Badalato. It's also chase up the number for you for Alat Abdul Rahman. 11, Khan Nizam. 16, Johnny Pavlovich. 22, Jesse Cameron. 27, Julian Kopp. 31, Aidan Simmons. And 34 is Richard Nkomo. Yes, Alat Abdul Rahman wearing number 9, not to be confused with Nicholas Badalato wearing number 8. And Vlastelica here, hard against the line with Matthew Hatch in a 2-on-1. United are convinced it's their ball, and the referee doesn't agree. Seemingly going to be Wanderers' possession here. Jesse Cameron happy to go backwards from the restart to Ricky Franson. Nkomo, 1 goal already this season for him. Nizam plays it back. Julian Kopp for the Wanderers. Now Franson again. He's got Cameron White on the right if he wants him. Wants to venture into the penalty area instead. It's going to sit up here for Khan Nizam. And the first shot on target is comfortably held onto by Josip Orlovic. No Tristan Prendergast today for Sydney United 58. Among a host of senior players and established names in NPL Men's New South Wales unavailable to the team in these opening rounds of the season. No Patrick Antelmi, Mario Chabau, Anthony Tomolich or Richie Darko. So that's half a first team right there that they are having to adjust for having out of the team. And it's a throw-in for Sydney United at right back. building. Pavlovic's pass cleared away by Liam McGing. And Como, a high cross. Cameron takes possession, carrying it back in for Aiden Simmons. Cameron, Pavlovic. Big turn on the ball. Well, tried for a Rabona cross. Bringing that out in just the 4th minute of the game. A bit of trickery, but it comes to little. Held on to by Orlovich in goal. Mason Wells scored a couple of times this season. One super goal against Sutherland in the opening round of the campaign. United's equaliser that day. They start at kickoff in 14th place with 2 competition points, 2 draws and a loss through the first 3 rounds of the season, coming off a 0-0 against Manly United away at Cromer Park last Friday. As we see, that long ball was caught the wind and gone out for a goal kick. Western Sydney Wanderers, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss, starting today in 10th place. And they were defeated 1-0 last start by Sutherland. So the first 5 minutes largely taking place inside Wanderers' attacking half, but just the one shot on target to show for it so far. Josip Orlovich waving his defence out. He's going long. And into the wind as well. You see players shielding their eyes from the sun. United win the second ball. Down the right flank they venture. Lakalandra keeping the ball in hard against the line. He's got Nkomo to deal with. Lakalandra cuts back. Tariq Meyer running into a bit of traffic over on the right, and he loses out here. Wanderers will have a throw in at left back. So just the one game last night in NPL Men's New South Wales, a 0-0 draw between Manly United and Sydney FC. So yet to see a goal this weekend. These two teams will be hoping to entertain us though. Cameron cutting it back to Franson. Patient build up here from the Wanderers. Aiden Simmons' turn now. The Wanderers gaffer Richard Cardozo was very briefly a teammate of Ante Juric at Sydney Olympic in the early 2000s in the NSL era. Nkomo nutmegs the referee. Battalato over to the right. Jesse Cameron. Plenty of space to swing it across, but he picks out the centre of defence instead. Battalato again. Back to Nathan Barry. Kopp. Switching over to Cameron. Battalato. Wanderers moving side to side. Who's going to play a forward pass for them, though? Venturing slightly further forward here. Khan Nizam went rolling and was dispossessed. However, the pass doesn't relieve the pressure. Battalato to the edge of the box. Squaring it up here. And Simmons firing high and well wide in the end. No real threat to the goal. But eventually the Wanderers found themselves in a shooting position, albeit with Aiden Simmons. Very experienced A-League level player, so should be one of the more senior heads for this Wanderers Academy team. Here's Stefan de Robillard of the Knights. Old habits die hard of United. Apologies, hello to anyone in Melbourne watching though. Michael Glassick switches over to Matthew Hatch, and that's off his arm, but out for a throw-in, and I think the referee is just going to pay it as a throw-in. Cameron. Kopp. Back to Barry. Barry looking for Nkomo over on the wing. United defence backtracking, and a harmless cross in the end. Hatch watches the ball bounce on to Robillard. Bit of a risky pass, cutting it back in. Now Matthew Hatch from deep on the left. Barry heading it away from Lakalandra. Julian Cobb. Simmons able to skip around his opponent here. Aiden Simmons cutting it in, and Pavlovich can't control the ball. The follow-up, Battalato, edge of the box. Sees Nkomo on a tight angle here. Richard Nkomo decides to double back. Battalato scooping it into the path of Vlastelica, who volleys away. At the moment, it's a real defensive stand for the home side at the moment through 9 minutes. Still get to really show us what they can do in an attacking sense. Just trying to weather the storm a little bit at the moment, and the press is all the way up here on McGing, but not so fortunate, deflects out for a goal kick. You can see Wanderers have set up players right at the edge of the penalty area, so Sydney United are going to try to beat them with a long goal kick, but no such luck. Over the head of Alessandro Lakalandra it goes. Keeper to keeper in the end. Tristan Vidakovic playing it out to Nathan Barry. Barry, Nkomo, movement ahead of the ball. Difficult pass to control though. Khan Nizam. Sydney United through Carlos de Oliveira, trying to increase his touches of the ball, get a feel for the game. Krilich switching flanks over to Hatch. Hatch plays it to Stefan de Robillard. De Robillard jinking down the left flank. Trying to make progress, but he cuts it back to Lakalandra. Back and forth, United go. Now Hatch. Lakalandra again to Robillard. Underlapping run. Oh, a bit of a grab of the shirt in the area, but nothing that caught the attention of the referee. To Robillard with a step over. Tried to beat his opponent for pace there in Jesse Cameron, but he couldn't quite find a way past. And it will be a throw-in for Sydney United. That's gone corner side of the flag. So first corner of the afternoon. Could this be what the home side need? Plenty of tall players to aim for. McGing, Vlastelica, both getting up from centre back. Big crowd in the 6-yard box, and at the far post where the corner is heading, Vlasic got the first header, and then it's booted away emphatically out for a throw. Set pieces, they will pose a danger today, Sydney United 58, because they have a very tall team. Hatch. Vlasic. Switching it over to the right side. Krilich. Counts it back. Now we're getting to see Sydney United 58 in possession in their attacking half. Well, a hopeful ball that sits up kindly for Nathan Barry, and he'll turn and play it back to Vidakovic. McGing with the header. Nizam playing it back to Nkomo. Franson. Cameron, ball went out. It'll be thrown at left back to be taken by Matthew Hatch. Vlasic turns and plays it back to his goalkeeper. It's going to tangle over it right back. Did Anthony Krilich, but he still wins a throw for his side. De Oliveira trying to burst away from two Wanderers midfielders, and they foul him in the process. It's a long-range free kick, perhaps beyond shooting distance. And there's an eagerness to take it quickly, and the ball is back live. At the feet here of Vlastelica, switching it over to the right flank. Players shield their eyes from the sun, though, as they look over to the western side of the ground. Solid header from McGing. Abdul Ruckman able to affect the ball, but Simmons now has it at his feet. Looking for a through ball to no one who was really there in the middle. Abdul Ruckman was running through the right channel. And Pavlovic was running through the left side of the box, and there was no one really in the middle. Long ball from Battleado, asking a lot of Abdul Ruckman there. Vlasic comes through. Hatch, early ball. Promising first touch, and eventually taking possession is Tariq Meyer. Switches over to the right side. Krilich getting forward. Krilich plays it on. Wells. Vlasic. Now McGing. Sydney United building. Patient as they pass the ball right at the edge of the attacking third to Robillard. Shape to shoot. Decides to play it over to Vlasic. Now Hatch. Hatch on the tight angle. Blazes across into Jesse Cameron, and it will be out for a throw. Hatch. Plays a pass to Robillard. Meyer, Lakalandra, cuts it to the top of the box, and De Oliveira, first touch, didn't quite set up for him the way he needed to shoot. Coming through here is Krilich, trying to keep the attack alive. Has he done enough to win a corner? He hasn't. It's a goal kick. Carlos De Oliveira was bursting to the edge of the box there, and he just tried to volley it to his own advantage with his first touch, but it didn't sit up kindly for him to then shoot it at the second time of asking. Cameron. So it's been a better 2 or 3 minute spell from the home side. 16 minutes in and scoreless, but we've seen what both sides have to offer in an attacking sense now as they build into this game on a very warm afternoon. Nkomo. Cross into the near post, headed away by McGing. De Oliveira. He's not able to lose the attention of a couple of players, and then he spins back out of trouble. And Vlasic has to lunge in to retain possession. Long ball from Hatch. Lakalandra with it all to do. Franson trying to protect the ball and plays a back pass now for Dakovic. And he's able to work things out with Nathan Barry and get the ball to Ricky Franson in space with plenty of time to start a new move from the defensive line. Simmons. Koch. Missed by Battleado, but Lux are fortunate. Falls back to Koch. Wanderers inside the penalty area, but in spite of the urging of their coach, they didn't quite press the goalkeeper as eagerly as Richie Cardozo might have hoped, and now Sydney United trying to emerge out of their defensive half here. Krilich dispossessed. Simmons cut back inside. Nicholas Battleado leaves the ball with Ricky Franson. Cameron. Oh, misplaced pass, and the counter-attack could be on here. Sydney United have got, well, It's short-lived. Simmons came in and caught De Oliveira from the blind side, and now it's counter on counter. Will this suit the Wanderers? Khan Nizam trying to take on the defence single-handedly and came unstuck. Switch of flanks here for United. Hatch. De Robillard. Back to Glassick. De Oliveira. Speed of the attack slows down for now. De Oliveira. Can he find the right pass? He just drifts within 5 metres of the penalty area. Tariq Meyer. And then a little feint there from Mason Wells. Tried to outfox the Wanderers' defence and couldn't do so. The ball runs long. So into the 20th minute. And scoreless. Nkoma. Gets it inside. Khan Nizam. And now Simmons. Ruckman, back to Simmons. Jesse Cameron in space on the wing is going to swing in a ball, and on one bounce it's held by the keeper. Alat Abdul Ruckman was sliding in late, and Josip Orlovic had good hands to hold on. The amount of space Jesse Cameron is creating for himself on the right side, perhaps a bit of an issue. Sydney United have Matthew Hatch, left back, who himself is such a great counter-attacking weapon. Oliveira. Krilic motoring forward here. Anthony Krilic, edge of the box. Well, it turned into a cross shot in the end. And just drifted out for a goal kick. He changed the pace of the attack there, but not to any great effect. Francis. Cameron. Deep in his own half. Ruckman not able to take clean possession of the ball. Orlovic has Glassick on as his outlet. Hatch. Cut inside. Meyer. And switching over to Krilic. Tariq Meyer got caught in a midfield trap. Battleado wins possession for the Wanderers. Simmons just holds his advance for a moment. And the pass back from Abdul Ruckman, not to his teammates' advantage by any stretch, so Sydney United win the ball back. Hatch. Calandra around the corner to Robillard. See the ball speed picking up here from the home side. They're on the move with Glassick here. The run is on. Mason Wells wants to cut onto his left foot. The shot's there, and it catches a deflection. One of the better moves of the day from either team. It's in a deflected shot, tumbling harmlessly in the end to the arms of Tristan Vidakovic. Francis. Cameron set his teammate an impossible task there. Robillard guarding down in the corner. Hatch emerging. Meyer. Oh, Battleado nicks it off him. Simmons. Does he go himself here? He waits for the run. And Abdul Ruckman came in late. And Stephen Robillard protected the ball back to his keeper. Can't help but think that Hayden Simmons might have been better served by going for it himself there. Giveaway of possession inside the defensive third. And Sydney United not made to pay. Spin on the ball from Glassick. His next focus is on switching it out to the right. Krilic is away. Running in and distributing wide to Wells. Wells, the shot's on here for him, but it's blocked. And now the follow-up is a ripper from Tariq Meyer. Brilliantly placed inside the left side netting, and Sydney United 58 strike first, and they strike from distance. A really superb goal from Tariq Meyer, and the referee has called a drinks break, so the players will get to reflect on the superb strike that has given them a 1-0 lead. His first goal of the season prior to today, Mason Wells with 2 and Michael Glassick with 1 were Sydney United's only goal scorers so far this campaign. And it was Wells who initially created the shot that deflected for the follow-up. And now the home side, as things stand, have the ascendancy. And at the 25-minute mark, we're seeing a drinks break, which means we'll have one in the second half as well. So other fixtures coming up today in NPL Men's New South Wales. It's the 27-minute mark over at Popondetta Park, where Mount Druitt Town and Rockdale are currently scoreless. And then kicking off in a matter of minutes will be Northwest Sydney Spirit against St George City at Christie Park. 6 p.m. tonight, Wollongong Wolves against Central Coast. 7 p.m. Marconi against St George, and at 7:30 Sutherland Sharks against Sydney Olympic, and that match has been moved to Valentine Sports Park. So a very busy Saturday evening in the top flight of NPL football in New South Wales, and with the other games scoreless and Friday night's game scoreless, we've seen the only goal so far in round 4. It's an excellent goal that maybe set the tone for what might be still to come for the rest of the day here. So the only drawback for Sydney United is that any adrenaline and momentum they might have had off the back of that goal has dissipated a little bit with the drinks break. And it's kick-off now to resume the first half after the opening goal of the game from Tariq Meyer. Dispossessed by Stephen de Robillard. Glassick. To Oliveira. Purple ball down the right channel. Chipped away from Mason Wells. The follow-up here for the goal scorer, though. Meyer. Hatch. To Oliveira. Attempted a 1-2. Work out for Sydney United, and now Wanderers have possession through Simmons. Khan Nizam. Able to shake off the challenge, but his pass is misplaced, and the referee says we'll come back for the free kick. right. Cameron doesn't want to swing in a ball with DeRobillard on his case, and that's why DeRobillard very nearly stole it away. Battolato. Barry. Now Nkomo. Battolato, diagonal ball, finds Jesse Cameron. First touch, excellent, and his cross, though, not able to match. Cleared away by Vlastelica. Simmons. Ball booted clear by De Oliveira. Barry. Battelato's going to go and chase his touch, and he loses out to Meyer. Takes the game on, passes into the centre circle for De Oliveira. He distributes out to Krilic on the right, and now Lakalandra is running. Goalkeeper's out, and Lakalandra has to hurdle over him, taking evasive action. It was very nearly a retrievable pass there. Sydney United ventured forward. Plays it to Cameron. Tough pass to control. Simmons quickly moves it back out to Cobb. Puts in the cross, and again, caught on one bounce by Orlovic. So now getting plenty of opportunity to attack through the right side, the Wanderers, but the delivery into the penalty area hasn't exactly been threatening so far. Lakalandra, classic. Bounces out to Krilic. Is he able to keep it in? He is. Krilic weaving through the right flank here. It's a great individual run, and it ends with the ball running out for a goal kick, and I think Krilic there didn't attempt to keep it in because he was convinced it was last touch off a Wanderers defender. Referee disagreed. So a goal kick, the end result for an enterprising individual effort. Danny Horsted is today's central referee, holding the whistle. Franson, Jesse Cameron, Simmons. Aiden Simmons to Jesse Cameron. Simmons, edge of the box. This is where things have broken down for Wanderers. The cross looking for an attacker. Sydney United almost daring them to play a ball in at this point. Defence sitting very deep. Battolato passing around the edge of the area. And now a first-time shot from Khan Nizam, who owns the only two shots on target today for Western Sydney Wanderers, and both of them have been comfortably saved by Josip Orlovic. There's a player down, though, for the home side. Stefan DeRobillard waved to the sideline. Trainer is going to be brought on to assess. A sub or two has been sent to go and warm up from the Sydney United bench. Their bench today: Bailey Rule, Thomas Mako, Josh Attard, Leroy Jennings and Luke Zavella of the outfielders. Backup keeper Mitchell Carter. And Wanderers bench today: backup keeper Lucas Sinnott, Lachlan Tilt, Dallo Sandy, Noah Peacock, Tristan Arate and Anthony Barbich. So, DeRobillard, how serious is this current affliction? He's getting his right leg worked on here. Both teams taking the opportunity to have another drink, only about 8 or 9 minutes after the previous drinks break. appears to be the right hip of Stefan de Robillard. Let's see how he moves as he gets up. This visit from the physio. I think he's going to be okay to continue in the game. That's my early call here. He's still a sub warming up for Sydney United, but have I spoken too soon for de Robillard? He's going to walk over to the sideline, and it appears as though the sub is not coming up to the fourth official just yet, so the 11 that started the game appear to be set to continue. And de Robillard is back on. So factor that into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Ruckman almost running into his own teammate. Bit of byplay off the ball. Havlevich went sprawling, but he bounces back up. Nizam, Nkomo. All the way back to Barry. Nathan Barry, Simmons. Kopp, trying to slide it through a gap in the middle. Once, twice, the follow-up from Abdul Rahman. Just a tumbling attempt in the end from Abdul Rahman. And comfortably held on to by the keeper. I'm not sure that would even go down as a save. Closer to retrieving a loose ball. 10 minutes of regulation to go until half-time. Remains Sydney United 58, leading by a goal to nil against the Wanderers. Nkomo plays it back to Vidakovic. By Jesse Cameron to Robillard, looking all right since receiving treatment. Possession here. Away come the home side. Meyer plays it out to Hatch on the left. Really needs an invitation to get forward, and he's going to dash on here. Matthew Hatch advancing, shooting on his left foot. His very much preferred left foot. And Vidakovic is able to hold the save. You can see that Matthew Hatch was trying to get just a little bit of outside of the foot curve on the ball, but he didn't strike it with nearly the power needed to swing it away from the goalkeeper. Things opened up pretty quickly for him though there. He definitely identified the chance to go for an attack. Definitely has played plenty of matches over the course of his career as a designated winger or striker, so it's very familiar territory for him. Makalandra coughs up possession here. Away goes Kopp. Makalandra determined to come in and help win it back, and he does so. Vlastelica plays it on to Meyer. Glassick advancing. Sees De Oliveira. Plays it out to the right. He's waited for the overlapping run, but missed his mark. Now Khan Nizam. Richard Nkomo. The defence is back in set for Sydney United. So Wanderers are moving quickly, but they've still got the full back line to deal with here, and Nkomo just goes for it as he continued to run forward. One goal for him this season so far. Not able to double his tally. Comfortable save for Orlovich. De Oliveira. Long ball. Bit of an aimless ball in the end. Jesse Cameron goes for the early cross this time and can't bring his teammates into play on the first ball. It's chased out of the penalty area by Krilic. Around the corner to Wells. Wells, the deflection, a kind one. Glassick, he's caught in possession though. Khan Nizam, into the box he goes. Bit of a tangle, referee waves it away. Sydney United retain possession. Very ambitious diagonal ball. Straight to the centre of the Wanderers' defence. Nathan Barry. Jesse Cameron shouting for the ball for the long crossfield switch. But by the time it got there, he had Matthew Hatch for company. Copp, he's unmanned. And again, the crossing of Western Sydney Wanderers has been noticeably off in the game. Sydney United almost happy to let them try their luck from wide areas so far, and they just haven't had the right ball to really test the centre-back duo, vastly experienced Liam McGing and Adrian Vlastelica. They may have some new ideas in the final minutes of this half. Western Sydney Wanderers as they pursue an equaliser. Concentration is going to be all important on such a hot day today. Taxing conditions under the sun and on the synthetic here at Sydney United. Simmons. Abdul Ruckman. Simmons bides his time. Sees Battleado. Nkomo blocked. Battleado shanks the long shot. Just didn't catch it how he would have hoped from that distance. Wanderers stay in possession though. Cobb tries the 1-2 with Simmons, and then he's dispossessed by a good classic tackle. Franson had to get to the ground, but he's bounced back up with the ball. Very nicely done by Ricky Franson. Sent it out to Jesse Cameron. He's been in this position a dozen times in the first half, and again is struggling to bring his teammates into the game as he plays that out for a goal kick. Referee insisting the throw-in to be taken. The ball went out down at right back. Krilic brings it back into play. Vlasic, a hurried pass. And a playable ball there for Mason Wells. Franson. Simmons. Tangled with Vlasic to Robillard, knocks it back to Franson. Franson trying to find the right pass, and it will run on to Orlovich in goal. Vlasic. Robillard in an acre of space over on the left, and the pass is going to Hatch instead. So the switch of flanks eventually finds its way to Stefan de Robillard. Now Wanderers have got a few more numbers balanced across the entire defensive line. Got news of an equaliser at Popondetta Park. Mount Druitt and Rockdale are currently 1-1 in their game. So got the Northwest Sydney Spirit taking the lead as they go for 4 wins from 4 at home against St George City. In the meantime here, it's Sydney United trying to win for the first time this season. And as we head towards half-time, they are in front. 2 minutes of regulation to go. There'll be a decent chunk of stoppage, though, due to the drinks break and also a bit of injury treatment from the first half. Vidakovic. Long, hopeful clearance onto the head of McGing. As it bounces towards the line. Wells, Krilic. Now Vlasic. De Oliveira almost controlled it off the back of his neck. That was clever, but couldn't bring the ball to ground to his own advantage. Khan Nizam running straight at Krilic, and he's dispossessed by a good challenge. Long ball from Vlastelica. Lakalandra. Initial header. Was trying to head it to his own advantage, and then Jesse Cameron got back to interrupt. See, pretty well in the air there, Lakalandra, but had to deal with a couple of Wanderers defenders after the initial touch. Here's Nkomo. Khan Nizam. Abdul Ruckman in the pocket. His space closed down immediately, though. Defended by Vlastelica. Franson battling Lakalandra. All sorts of shouting at the referee at the moment. And the referee is going to whistle play dead because the flag is up over on the outer side. And an offside call is the decision. And that'll just about take us into stoppage time. Keeping an eye out for the fourth official. So Jackson Tippett, the fourth official for this one, has got the board in his hands and about to tell us how many minutes of stoppage time to end the first half. As Ricky Franson is on the ball here for the Wanderers. Oh, and Jesse Cameron's touch abandoned in there as we tick into 4 additional minutes at the end of the first half. Simmons. Oh, ball nicked off his toes by De Robillard. And now De Oliveira. Tarek Meyer. Plays it back to McGing. Twisting and turning in possession, and the ball has been coughed up. Battleado not able to keep it. For Wanderers, though, coming away is Hatch. Hatch with a burst of acceleration, and now showing us his speed. He's trying to continue the run here. He veers out to the left. Everything slows down just for a moment. De Robillard back to Hatch. He's got Jesse Cameron guarding him here, and he steers it back to Glassick. De Robillard now is going to lift it across. And a potential shot, well, trying to be created here for Tarek Meyer. He's got one already. That caught a huge deflection, though. And Franson sends it behind for a corner kick. Tarek Meyer, with the only goal of the game, was shooting at his second there. And ultimately took a big deflection behind for a corner. And this will be a test for the Wanderers defence right at the end of the first half. Going in 2-0 down would be a huge hit to the morale. Carlos de Oliveira over the corner kick. All sorts of byplay going on. That is going to have to go back to the corner. And the referee is going to lay down the law here to Nathan Barry because there was pushing and shoving, and then McGing was sent to the ground, and he's still lying on the ground, I think, for the theatre of it all. Referee Danny Horsted is going to have to sort this all out. And it's a yellow card for Nathan Barry, so he's going to have to be on his best behaviour for the remainder of the game. First player to receive a booking today. Richie Cardozo is not happy about it. He's chewing the ear off the fourth official and the linesman down at the technical area. In the meantime, there is still a corner to defend. De Oliveira to the far post it goes. Vidakovic caught it on one bounce off the turf, and now he's looking to hit it long for Simmons, who's in a foot race here against Hatch. Two speedsters going after it, and Hatch, his pace key there to Simmons just knocking the ball up, not to his own advantage. And then Hatch clears down the line. However, he might have given the ball away. Battleado rolls it back to Cameron. Danger not yet averted. Final minute of 4 additional at the end of the first half. Now Mike gets a boot in, only as far as Barry and Como. Wanderers with 30 seconds left to play with at the end of the first half. Abdul Ruckman nearly lost the ball, went and grappled it back. And the 1-2 here between Cameron and Battleado is short fused by to Robillard, who got himself in the way, and then the ball is booted to safety by Hatch, and that should just about do it for Sydney United 58 to get the game to half-time. And indeed it is. So hunting that first win of the NPL men's campaign, a goal from Tariq Meyer has Sydney United 58 in the ascendancy at half-time, and that sole strike is the difference between the teams. You'll see the stats and then the countdown clock during the half-time break. We'll be back for the second half of this NPL men's clash very shortly, but at the break, it is Sydney United 58-1, leading Western Sydney Wanderers 0. So both teams back out on the pitch at the start of the second half of this NPL Men's New South Wales Clash. Round 4, and Sydney United 58 enjoying a 1-0 advantage against the Western Sydney Wanderers. As the whistle gets us underway with the Wanderers in their white away kit attacking to the left of your screens in this second half, and Alad Abdul Rahman has blazed an early attempt across the face of goal. So Tariq Meyer with the only goal of the game so far. And Nathan Barry of the Western Sydney Wanderers, the only player with a yellow card from the first 45. And there appear to have been no substitutions made by either team at half-time. Very hot day though, so expect there to be activity on the bench as this game goes on. If you've only just joined us, United's team today: Orlovich in goal, Vlastelica, De Oliveira, Hatch, Lakalandra, McGing, Meyer, Krilic, Classic, De Robillard and Wells. So notable absentees including Patrick Antelmi, Tristan Prendergast, Mario Chabot, Anthony Tomilic and Richie Darko. And the Western Sydney Wanderers lineup: Vidakovic, Barry, Franson, Battleato, Abdul Rahman, Nizam, Pavlovic, Cameron, Kopp, Simmons and Nkomo. Same 11 that started the match, starting at the second half. More than 30 degrees at kickoff. There's a bit of a breeze around for us in the grandstand. It may not be quite as strong down at ground level, and of course they are playing on synthetic, which tends to compound the heat on a day like today. Wanderers at the edge of the box. Nizam. Now Kopp. Khan Nizam trying to find a way through. Abdul Rahman was turning, but immediately dispossessed. Barry sweeps onto the spill, steers it out to Richard Nkomo. Hangs up across. Oh, first touch Wanderers in the box. And Pavlovic not able to capitalise. I don't think he was expecting the ball to get to him. It really just landed on his thigh. And instead of swinging it a volley, he almost trapped it by accident there. That was a really surprising phase of play. And Johnny Pavlovic perhaps had a chance there that, well, is as good as any Wanderers have had in the game so far. Here's Abdul Rahman. Battleato, Simmons. Aiden Simmons trying to squeeze it through an impossibly tight gap there for one of his teammates, and it's cleared away by McGing. But it's been a busy start to the second half from Western Sydney. Long diagonal ball from Franson over to Richard Nkomo. And he goes to work here against Anthony Krilic. Gets the better of Krilic, but then Mason Wells was there to help him out. And Wells clears it away. Barry keeps it clear of Lakalandra over to Franson. One of Wanderers' better players in the first half, Ricky Franson. And he doesn't want to come unstuck here. He's able to guide it back to his goalkeeper, Vidakovic. Simmons. Cops attempted a 1-2, came undone, and now streaming forward here as well as he loves to cut onto his left. What can he do on his right side though? He forces a save out of Vidakovic, but it wasn't travelling with any great speed. It just tumbled more into the outstretched arms of the Wanderers goalkeeper. Shot on target though for Sydney United 58 as they try to double their lead early in the second half. Franson, pass intercepted. Meyer steers it back to Matthew Hatch. He's happy to bide his time. Barry. Just drifting into the attacking half, decided not to go any further. Passes the ball off to Julian Kopp, and now Uncle Ruckman cuts it inside. Down his arm over to Nicholas Battolato. Kopp and Battolato. Wanderers were here plenty of times in the first half, passing the ball around the edge of the penalty area and just looking for the right way into the box. Battolato tries to forge it in, and that is a clumsy challenge in the air that leads to a free kick from the referee. It's an ambitious leap at the ball from Jesse Cameron there that wiped out his opponent and gave away the free kick. So a restart for Josip Orlovic, Sydney United 58 goalkeeper. Simmons lifts it over to the right. Cameron is out pointed and the ball goes out. There has been a change. Leroy Jennings is on for Sydney United 58 in the number 32 shirt. Looks as though Stefan de Robillard is the player that's made way. We saw him receive treatment in the first half, so mark that down as the first change of the game for either team. Jennings on, de Robillard off. Early ball asking a lot of Simmons, and he won't be able to run that down. Sailed out by Jesse Cameron. Barry up for the header. Second ball there to be won. And Sydney United have the numbers. Kilic's pass. Vlasic has it blocked, and then it did run out over the paint of the line before it was booted away. Throwing down at right back. Wanderers appear to be getting some subs ready. Exactly how far away they are remains to be seen. Vasilitsa round the corner. Hatch. Open space to break into, but he's going to pass the ball on instead. Jennings. Vlasic. To Vasilitsa. His pass to Hatch, who's continued his run, but he goes slip sliding out of the way, and Cameron takes over possession. Kopp to Cameron. Battolato. Now Barry. Nkomo. Ruckman. Now Nizam. Ball was cleared from him. Vlasic. Switching over to Jennings. And the shot is straight into Cameron. Followed up though, and waiting in the middle was Lakalandra. The ball is headed away by Barry. It rears up off the synthetic. And Como heads it on outside the penalty box. Possession given away in a dangerous area, though. De Oliveira that exploded off the boots of Lacalandra going for the 1-2. And ultimately rolled out for a goal kick. There's a bit of afters. Referee deciding just to have a chat rather than reach for his pocket. 10 minutes into the second half and no change to the halftime score. Sydney United 58 holding a 1-0 lead here against the Western Sydney Wanderers. Franson. Cameron working with Pavlovich. And wheels around and resets at the centre of defence. And now he's down. It might only be a cramp. A Wanderer's going to keep playing, or are they going to put the ball out? Yeah, it's only a cramp, so they're happy to keep possession here. Bit of a distraction, though, because they're effectively down to 9 because Franson's helping Pavlovich stretch, and he has the ball here. Pavlovich is still cramped, so the situation continues here. Wanderers are happy to play, but it means that when Sydney United win the ball back here, they will be happy to play as well. No obligation to stop the game here for the referee for a cramp. And so here goes Matthew Hatch down the left side. Jennings, did the ball run out? It did run out. So Sydney United not able to capitalise on playing 11 versus 10. And it does appear as though it is going to prompt a first sub of the game for the Wanderers, with Dallo Sandy being ready. It looks as though it's going to be multiple changes because Anthony Barbich has also taken off the bib. You'd imagine that Johnny Pavlovich is going to be one of the players that has his number come up here. This is not a formal drinks break. We will have the official drinks break closer to about the halfway point of the second half. We saw Pavlovich getting stretched by one of his teammates, so hopefully, for his sake, it's not worse than a cramp. But treatment is continuing to be administered out on the surface. Gives us a chance to recap what's going on elsewhere in the other games in NPL Men's New South Wales on a very busy Saturday evening. 63rd minute, 10-man Mount Druitt, 1-1 with Rockdale or Linden. Half-time at Christie Park. NWS Spirit leading 1-0 thanks to Aluwalia against St George City. And 20 minutes in down in Wollongong, it's Wollongong Wolves 0-0 against Central Coast, who are trying to end a 3-game losing streak that they've had to start the new campaign. And this has turned into quite the delay here. Pavlovich, treatment has been administered. He's able to stand up. And Khan Nizam has been subbed off here for Anthony Barbich. So that's one of the changes that's gone through here for the Western Sydney Wanderers. And it will also be Dallo Sandy coming on for the departing Johnny Pavlovich, who leaves the pitch over on the outer side. So Nizam and Pavlovich off, Sandy and Barbich on. First two changes for Western Sydney. So the ball is back live. We're almost at the hour mark now. Nathan Barry, back to Tristan Vidakovic. France to Kopp. Bit of a shallow pass, asking a lot of Cameron. Kopp goes back in, wins his own ball. Sandy, first involvement. He's going to take possession here, much to the frustration of Battleado. Crossfield ball. Abdul Rahman brings it down, and Como on the overlap on the outside. And that's where the ball is going. And he's wiped out by Mason Wells, and it'll be a wide free kick here for the Western Sydney Wanderers. And the yellow card out of the pocket as well. Now, Sydney United are arguing that Wanderers tried to get clever and take the free kick quickly, and then they won possession back, but the referee has halted play and is going to bring the situation back down towards the corner. So Mason Wells joins Nathan Barry in the book as the only players with a yellow card so far in the game. And I tell you what, looking back at the stream, Dallo Sandy did take the free kick quickly, but I guess the referee is the arbiter of when play stops and starts. So Dallo Sandy was the player in error for doing so. And here is the free kick then, to be taken by Nicholas Battolato. In at the near post it goes, and headed behind for a corner kick by Krilich. Sydney United do have the taller team, but Franson, Barry, and the recently arrived Barbic are all tall targets to aim for here for Battolato at this corner kick. Right into the teeth of goal, and it's punched away by Orlovich. Kopp went for the volley, didn't strike it cleanly. Franson on the turn and cleared out of the 6-yard box. And away to safety by Anthony Krilich. And that attempt there from Franson would have flashed past 3 or 4 Wanderers that just weren't within lunging distance of the ball. Misplaces his pass. The press is on in earnest here, but it's going to be short-lived with Orlovich booting it away to safety. Keeper to keeper. See, there's a concerted effort here from Wanderers to try and lift the tempo of the game, but the execution is a little bit lacking. Case in point right here. Throwing is going Sydney United's way. Music of goal down in Wollongong. They now lead the Central Coast Mariners 1-0. Great touch out of the air by Simmons. Kept the ball in. Hard against the line. Michael Ruckman is going to undo all his hard work and send it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Battolato. Franson. Barbic. And his pass a little forced and running long for a goal kick. Flags over to Krilich. Krilich finds Jennings. Jennings laying it out to Lakalandra on the right. Wanderers have got their defenders back though. Here's De Oliveira. Can he find a teammate with his cross? It was a driven cross. And plucked out of the air by Vidakovic, and only Jennings to aim for in the penalty area. Sandy. And his eagerness to retain possession, he's gone into the hard foul. Just getting a word from the referee about how he clattered Carlos de Oliveira there. Vecchio, the goal scorer for Wollongong Wolves, and they're taking the lead against the Central Coast. Long ball here, Lakalandra, first touch promising, it breaks into the box, and Nkomo has to volley it out. Level with the penalty area, it'll be a throw in for Sydney United. Jennings. Jennings wriggling out of traffic. The shot's on for Tariq Meyer and saved away by Vidakovic. Well, he's been the only goal scorer of the game, and he got himself into another good position there. Able to test Tristan Vidakovic down next to his right-hand post as the goalkeeper would have seen it, and putting it behind for a corner kick. Second goal here, and you suspect that Sydney United 58 will have a match-winning lead. As long as it stays at 1-0, they're only ever one slip-up or one moment of magic away from dropping the points, but 2 goals might be on the evidence presented by Wanderers so far. A bit of a mountain to climb. So defensive phases like this could end up being crucial to the outcome of the game, even though we're a long way from the finish line. Here comes the corner, and in at the near post, Vlastelica was up, and it somehow stayed out, and is booted away to safety. Well, he flew through the penalty area there, Adrian Vlastelica, but it was hands on head as he was foiled. Ball rockets all the way back to Ulevich at the other end. Headed from Cameron. Sandy. Ball booted high in the air. Vlasic. Wells able to retain possession. Jennings keeps it moving. De Oliveira brings the ball under his control. Has to wheel back around though. Faces the penalty area. From one on the left. Vlasic. Tariq Meyer. McGing. Pass it out to Krilic. Lakalandra breaks out to the right corner. Tariq Meyer. Back to Krilic. Long chain of passes here for Sydney United 58. And it's going to come to an end here. And come to an end with a Western Sydney Wanderers throw. Deep at left back. Referee is ordering the players over to the sideline for a drinks break. So this will be the final powwow that'll take us to the last 20 minutes of regulation time here at Sydney United Sports Centre. Sydney United trying to take a breakthrough win at the 4th time of asking this season. For next weekend, Sydney United 58 are back here at the Sports Centre to take on the Central Coast. Sunday the 9th of March at 3 p.m. and Western Sydney Wanderers head back to their home ground, Wanderers Football Park, and they'll be facing NWS Spirit at 7 p.m. on Saturday night. Spirit, who may well have 4 wins from 4 under their belt at that point, given that they currently lead 1-0 against St George City in their clash over at Christie Park. Looks as though Wanderers have got more substitutions in mind. They're sending their 3 remaining outfielders available to them to go and warm up. Lachlan Tilt, Noah Peacock and Tristan Arate. In the meantime, the players have broken out of their huddles, and it's going to be the home stretch now in this NPL contest, restarting here at left back for Western Sydney. Abdul Rahman chasing and bringing the ball down. He swings it out to the right. Cameron gets it inside. Barbich. Barry. Back to Franson. Kopp keeps it moving. Cameron. Kopp. And it bobbles to the edge of the 6-yard box and then is booted away by Krilich. Progress through the right side for the Wanderers, but more finishing touch inside the penalty area for them. Just a teasing ball than anything. Long throw attempted here. And Vlastelica flies above Franson to head it away. Wells nods it on, but there's no one else advanced for Sydney United, so Wanderers will regain possession. Kopp turns and distributes. Sandy. Hello, Sandy. To the right here and plays it to Franson. Battleado. Simmons finds Kopp. Kopp is going to shoot from distance and force an excellent save. Probably the best of the game so far from Josip Orlovic, who tips it over the crossbar and out for a corner kick. And Julian Kopp had space in the pocket there and decided the shot was on. And he was able to test the goalkeeper. And now the resulting corner kick. Wanderers trying not to waste any time here. They've been able to generate a bit of momentum. Here comes the corner kick, in swinger, sliding off heads. And now Jennings might be able to launch a counter-attack here for Sydney United. He's striving and he can't outpace Simmons, who himself is a very fast player. Vidakovic, the game opening up here. Broken play after a corner kick. Might suit the Wanderers. Nkomo keeps it moving. Kopp out to the right. Abdul Rahman for a moment to imprint himself on this game, and it just hasn't been his day so far as he loses possession here. Battleado. Barry. Simmons. Jennings, Lacalandra, much on ahead of the ball. He's got to wait for runners to break. Krilich was one of them, and ultimately not able to run down that pass. Word has come from the bench for Wanderers that they want to up the tempo again here. It has been a game of ebb and flow with some flat spots, it must be said. Kopp dispossessed by Hatch. Vlasic, neat touch, keeps the attack moving. Tariq Meyer, but he can't stick the 1-2. However, he nearly got between defender and keeper to nick the ball away. Dakovic eventually collapsed down onto the ball to save the day. Sandy, ball switched out to the left. Abdul Rahman puts his head down, tries to back his speed, but there was a covering defender, and he's gone clattering into Liam McGing. Sydney United are protesting. They think it should be a foul and a card. If anything, Abdul Ruckman's wiped himself out here. Bit of a flashpoint. 15 minutes to go. The referee seems happy that there's nothing untoward about it. Sandy. Cleared long by Krilich. Sydney United now have a number of their subs warming up as well. Reinforcements, fresh legs. Not too far away as the game is a final period. Barry didn't like his options on the left side. Switches over to Franson. Into the middle, and misses Dello Sandy with the pass. Flustelitza, clever flick by Tarek Meyer, and Jennings might be away here. He shows a clean pair of heels to Franson, who's going to try and hustle back here. It's Jennings! And of course, the end of the season is within touching distance for Sydney United 58. As Leroy Jennings is able to break half the pitch and finish confidently to double the home side's advantage. And it will be sweet relief to Sydney United 58. They will feel as though they've been good value to get a second goal and consolidate their advantage in this game. And now the match no longer lingers at that 1-0 scoreline, where you're only ever one mishap or moment of magic away from having your hold on the points wiped out. We are about to see a host of substitutions here on the sideline as well in the aftermath of the goal. Alessandro Lacalandra is coming off here. He's going to be replaced by Thomas Mako. And scorer of the first goal today, Tarek Meyer, is being replaced by Luke Zavella. We've also got Lachlan Tilt coming on for the Western Sydney Wanderers. It's part of a triple change here. Looks as though Battleado and also Abdul Ruckman are among the players making way. And over on the outer side, it appears as though Jesse Cameron's number has come up as well. So a bit of sorting out to do here with 5 different substitutions actioned across the two teams. Ball back live, and one of the new faces, Tilt, has possession. He is slotted in at the centre of defence. Long ball over the top here from Franson, headed away by McGing. So that's all 5 outfielders that have now come on for Western Sydney Wanderers. Tilt, Sandy, Peacock, Arate and Barbic have come on for Battleado, Abdul Ruckman, Nizam, Pavlovich and Cameron. And Sydney United 58 have brought on Mako, Jennings and Zavella. And they have brought off Lacalandra, Meyer and de Robillard. So they still have Josh Outhard and Bailey Rule available to them. And with a 2-0 lead in pocket, with just over 10 minutes to go, it's as though only a really dramatic change in momentum is going to cause anything other than Sydney United's first win of the campaign. News of a second goal also at Christie Park. NWS Spirit now lead at 2-0 against St George City. So they are set fair for 4 wins from 4 as the only team with a perfect record remaining in the top flight after a month of the season. Here's De Oliveira. Sydney United up and running here. And Nathan Barry back for a saving challenge. It was nearly a perfect introduction for Luke Zavella as the ball was nicked off his toes. Happy to play it around their back line. Barry in Como. Looks up at a 1-on-2. Franson, Babic. Turning into midfield and taking the game on out to Como. 1-2. Now Kopp. Think back to his shot was saved when the score was still 1-0. Ball swung into the box and Sydney United's tall defenders able to clear it. So there's a wanderer down with cramp again. Different player. Obviously it was Pavlovich earlier in the half, so play's going to continue. Zavella leaves it with De Oliveira. Jennings is off and running. Onside as he takes possession here. And you can hear the home support pleading to the referee for a penalty, but he made the circular motion with his hands to suggest that the tackle got the ball. And it's play on, even though the Wanderers still have a man down with cramp. Are they going to put it out? Seemingly not. Arate. Oh, Wanderers are going to put the ball out eventually. A little bit foolhardy from Nathan Barry to go booting the ball towards the Sydney United bench as he put it out there. Another delay for this cramp. Pulled up the stream in this delay here just to have another look at the breakaway for Sydney United and the penalty shout that I think the fans more so than the players were interested in. Jennings, who, was on the end of a fairly standard slide tackle, you'd have to say, but that's the advantage of a home crowd, especially with a whole cluster of fans down in the shade in that corner. So it is yet another delay. We've had 2 cramps and the drinks break in this half, so there should be a decent old chunk of stoppage. News of a late equaliser at Popondetta Park. And it appears as though Mount Druitt Town are going to grab a share of the points against Rockdale, who'd been leading 2-1 since the 71st minute, but 89th minute it is now 2-2 between Mount Druitt Town and Rockdale Linden. So the newly promoted team on the verge of taking points off the premiers. I'm not sure we're going to get quite a similar grandstand finish here. 2-2 scoreline. There's 6 minutes of regulation to go. There will be a healthy chunk of stoppage, but Sydney United, particularly their defence, has had the answers so far today. And Zavella, a real full of energy since coming on. He's been able to win possession, pressing and defending from the front. And it's consolidated here with Vlastelica. intercept made. And away comes Thomas Mako for Sydney United. Plays it on to Jennings. Jennings cuts it to the top of the box. It's volleyed away by Barbic. Home side stay on the attack. Vlasic. Block tackle from Sandy, but it's not to his team's advantage. Zavella takes it down to the corner in a 1-on-2. As the ball runs out, it will be a Wanderers throw. The clearance doesn't make it to the halfway line. Cardozo standing hands on hips in the technical area. It's been a frustrating afternoon. Wanderers have had precious few chances and not much by way of clear-cut opportunities to score. De Oliveira through the right side. Zavella looking for a teammate and volleyed. Oh, not so much a volley as a deflection away by Tilt. Getting it out of the penalty area. Vlasic. Jennings from the left side now. And up goes Franson. A hard one header. Able to get it out of the box though. McGing. Vlastelica. Oh, late contact, but Jennings got the pass to Vlasic. Zavella saved away. Vidakovic 1-on-1. Able to block the shot and make a save. That would have been icing on the cake there had Luke Zavella steered it past the keeper. Jennings is still a little proppy after that crunching challenge in the build-up. He's down on his haunches at present. Shadows creep across the ground. 2.5 minutes of regulation remaining here. Sydney United are back at home next weekend for a Sunday 3 p.m. A week into March. I imagine it'll still be pretty warm weather though. Mid-30s today. The under-20s bore the brunt of it with their kick-off time. It's been a little bit cooler for the seniors. Hatch. Vlasic works it into the box. Franson, and as far as De Oliveira. Hatch wants to use that left foot, lifts it in, can't get it over Franson. Headed over to the right side of the box as United see it. And Mason Wells, well, he's had a few looks on his left foot today. Wanderers have been often quick enough to come out and block him rather than let him get a shot clear, but that was bending and hoping for the top left-hand corner. Just over the bar it went. Well, heartbreak for Mount Druitt. Rockdale have scored a third goal in stoppage time. So a blockbuster finish over at Popondetta Park, and not one that the home team wanted. Bailey Rule is being readied here. He's going to get all of a minute plus stoppage. He will make his way on here. Bailey Rule, and who is getting relieved? It is going to be Mason Wells, who comes off in the 90th minute of play. Gets an early congratulations for his day's work. He's trying to get involved straight away. Sandy. Here's Dallow Sandy. Oh, went for a bit of trickery. And he's still able to fashion a shot on goal on a very tight angle. Held on to by Orlovich. It's only 5 on the board for injury time, so the clock is Sydney United's friend, you'd have to say. 5 minutes to steer to their first win of the season, and 2 goals in pocket. Zavella, Barry, Kopp, was booted away by McGing. See the urgency there, late contact. Franson and Zavella crashed into each other. The ball is flicked out to the left in the blink of an eye. Jennings has got runners for company, and he heard the shout from Hatch on the tight angle, and across came Franson and booted it almost all the way to the top of the stairs as he cleared it out into the terrace. So Sydney United have got it down the right end as far as they are concerned. So a corner here to be taken by Carlos de Oliveira. Right into the mixer it goes, and palmed away by Dakovic through the box. Simmons keeps the ball in. He's trying to go end to end. Passes at the referee. And frustration for Noah Peacock. It was his ball that was intended for Richard Nkomo. Ended up finding the referee instead. Drop ball. But time for Sydney United to get everyone back behind the ball in defence. A few more seconds off the clock. Franson finds Peacock. Noah Peacock drives in across and volleyed away by McGing. Corner kick, the end result. I'd say there's been a step up in intensity here from the Wanderers, but it does appear to be too little too late. Peacock's had to go and jump the fence here to retrieve the ball. He's getting his own ball kit. He's running back on, so corner here for Nkomo. He's going to drop it at the far post, and the header is over the bar. Lachlan Tilt had a header but couldn't keep it down. Take us past 3 minutes of stoppage ticked by. Solid header by Barry. Booted high by Krilich. Followed out by Bailey Rule. Tilt. Barbic. Well, even scoring now might be a moot point for the Wanderers. They surely don't have time to score a second. It's going to be a handball here against Rule. He's not able to convince the referee otherwise. Franson, his urgency to play the pass, he didn't steer it anywhere near his teammates. Sandy. And the ball breaks into midfield. Vlasic striding through. Out to Jennings. We've seen him have real joy through this centre-left channel. He's got a couple of opponents for company this time. Vlasic. First time cross. Rule scoops to the header. And held on to by Vidakovic. There just wasn't the power behind it to really trouble the keeper. And it's the final act of this contest as Sydney United 58 salute for the first time in season 2025. A welcome win for them at the fourth time of asking this campaign. My name's Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company today. Your full-time score, Sydney United 58-2, Western Sydney Wanderers 0.